That, no, I'm really sorry for you. That stings.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah, go.
What's 3 minutes?
Just go. I don't have a lot of room.
Go where? Where?
Begin. Begin. Start.
Begin. Ah, the hearts. La cor? What I got? This is the arch of the aorta right here, right? And we know before we've seen the dorsal aorta feeding down the body wall there. So here's the arch of the aorta, 2 vessels coming off the arch of the aorta. Brachiocephalic is the first, left subclavian is the second. Ultimately, you see this nicely laid out here because these veins are kind of lousy, so they're not so much in the way. 1, 2, 3, 4 vessels kind of radiating forward. Here, I'll get that for you. We'll just shove that under there. One is right subclavian and left subclavian on the outside, and then on either side of the trachea we have a right and left common carotid. So the 2 common carotids in the right subclavian come off of the brachiocephalic. Here's the left subclavian. And this left subclavian has 1, 2, 3 vessels coming off it dorsally and 1 ventral vessel. This one would have fed onto here, into the body wall. This is called the internal mammary. This is the vertebral. This is costocervical. And this is thyrocervical. After those 4 vessels come off and it kind of crosses, the first rib is right in here. Kind of down here a bit now. After that comes off the subclavian, changes name to the axillary. The axillary runs out here towards the arm, and it has a nice split right here. One part's going into it's called subscapular, going into the subscapular muscle, and this part is brachial onto the arm. If you look at this common carotid coming up here along each side of the trachea, we go about, 10 centimeters or 8 centimeters anyway. Up here, here's the larynx. Towards the back of the larynx, we see off the common carotid 2 vessels come off. Towards the outside is called a muscular vessel. Towards the inside is called cranial thyroid. Now we have this kind of mess up here, a bunch of things going on. Here's a vessel coming to the inside. That's going to be laryngeal, as in going to the larynx. And after that is lingual, going to the tongue. Laryngeal, lingual. Cranial thyroid back here goes to where the thyroid gland used to be, but it's kind of been removed at this point. Okay. On the outside of this laryngeal is some more muscular, what are called muscular, as well as occipital, but hard to distinguish at that point. And they get kind of ripped, so won't worry about them so much. Here's again lingual to the tongue. This next one is called the external maxillary. About this point, you see this common carotid is turning up this way. Now we can call that external carotid. There is a really small internal carotid going away, but typically not something that's easy to point at in cats. In other mammals, internal carotid is considerably larger. So this is external carotid. Here's a branch of the external carotid, goes behind the ear. Notice the ear is here. This goes behind the ear. This is called posterior auricular. And at the end of all that business, if we go up here, this external carotid splits one last time. One part's going under this masseter. That part's called the internal maxillary. And then there's this little tiny one right here in that hole that's called